live coming at you. We got a big one for you today. We got the boys Seattle in the chat. Say what up, Seattle.
What up, Seattle?
Oh God, that's gonna be one of these conversations. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. First things first, I gotta pull up my notes here. We're gonna start off with all the way back in March. You made one pre-draft trade, but first, before we get there, I want to hear your thoughts. So just before I go into what I think about your team, just give me your overall thoughts on your team as it currently stands. Like what do you think your best position group is? What do you think? Where do you plan to improve if you want to get? You don't have to get that information, but if you want to, you're
No,
more
no,
than welcome.
no. I feel like it's probably pretty self-explanatory. I think I have, if not the best QB room, probably one of the top three QB rooms between Burrow and May.
Mhm.
Uh, last night excluded, Drake May was pretty damn good this year. You know,
Yeah,
running back is I got a nice 1-2 punch. It gets very thin very quick after that. Wide receiver, if Marvin Harrison would ever become good, then
it's
I'd
your
be in a
boy.
better place there. But yeah, wide receivers is not a good look for me. Tight end, I've got two good young ones with Warren and Theo Johnson. I feel like I'm set there for a little while. So yeah, wide receiver is going to be priority number one, followed closely by finding a third running back.
With you there. I think that's yeah, you'll hear my thoughts, but it's pretty much spot on with what I have. Which yeah, it's not like it's not too many things you can say about it. But all right, good. Thank you. Oh, by the way, just letting everyone know, I think I did this the other day, but Will's been having some sleep issues. So again, so I might have to disappear and go try to get him back to sleep at any moment. So if that happens, you'll just have to freestyle. All right. So all the way back
Let me
March.
go on my rant. Give me the microphone. Give me the microphone.
They can
Let
hear
me.
you. They can hear you. I don't think anyone's watching currently, but they will hear you. Yeah, no, it's me. Okay, so all the way back to March 9th, 7:31 p.m. Blockbuster deal goes down.
I was up late. How do I
Yeah.
remember this?
Yeah.
Oh no, now I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
You decided you're gonna move up in the draft. You held the 105 and the 107, and you were going to move up to the 103 and 104, which Rahul held. So you traded to the 105, the 107, the 205, and the 305, as well as Matthew Stafford to get that 103 and 104. If you listen
And at the
to.
time, I will say real quick,
Mhm.
Matt Stafford was the odd man out because I was holding out hope that the king himself, Jordan Travis, would
Oh, God.
be a viable NFL quarterback.
Is that actually
But
why you
never
traded
finally
Stafford?
happened. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I needed because I
Dude.
needed the roster spot, and I was never going to play Stafford. It was always going to be May and Burrow.
That's
So
crazy
Stafford
talk.
was just the odd man out, and I found a willing trade partner to go
When
get
did he retire?
Warren and Henderson. Like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, April 30th. He's like a month later, he's done. That's funny as hell. Oh gosh, I did not know that, or maybe I did. I just forgot. Yikes!
Yep.
But as we know, if you listened the other day, what came of those picks were Tyler Warren and Dragon Henderson, and then Rahul got Tet McMillan. The 107 became Judkins. He didn't pick Judkins, but then Higgins from. Why am I blanking on his first name? From
Jaden
Texans,
Higgins.
Jaden Higgins, yes, and then Woody Marks at the 305. So how do you feel? Do you have any regrets looking back on this? Do you wish you would have had Tet and Judkins over Warren and Henderson? Or do you wish you would
Uh,
have made a different trade or something like that? Or what are your overall thoughts looking back now with what we know happened this
See,
season?
I've been high on Warren for a long time. He was my top attainable guy because I know I wasn't getting Hampton or um, Genty. He was my top attainable guy. So
Right.
he was. I wanted to ensure I got him, and I had intel that Rahul was very pro Tyler Warren as well. Um, so I wanted to sneak in there and get that one. He did not know that at the Then Henderson, I think Henderson came on late in the season. I think it's going to his next step is going to be cementing himself as the RB1 of that offense. He should be, but the Patriots are notorious for not doing that.
They
And
might
they
get
have
Andre there.
they got to feed the dinosaurs.
They don't need
Got to let the young guys eat.
Henderson. They Andre.
But to answer your question, no major regrets because again, Stafford was a piece I needed off my team for other reasons.
Well, you didn't need him.
Whether the thought process on that was correct was no, it was not.
Should just cut Travis.
I should have just cut the king himself.
It's hilarious.
But I did not. So I'm gonna have to live with that one. But no, I'm happy with Henderson and Warren. McMillan's solid. Judkins is solid. Judkins also had the contract issue going on at the time, so no one really knew if he was even gonna play this year, if he was gonna try to like go back to school.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, as if on cue, Will starts whimpering. Hold on. Sure, you can get back to himself. Get back to sit by himself. He's going to. We'll see. Stay tuned. Okay, so Warren Henderson. I'm looking at this. I think it's pretty even. I think Rahul ended up trading at 107, and from that he ended up getting. What did he end up getting for that? He got the 104 and the 212 for next year. So I think he won, but I also think you won. I don't think there's a winner or loser. I think it's kind of like one of those rare win-win cases because you got, like you said, I mean, Tyler Warren's going to be good for a while. He kind of
tailed off.
Tapered off
he also
towards
tailed
the end.
off, and the Colts tapered off.
Exactly, the Colts were.
He was incredible when Daniel Jones was starting.
Yes, he was very reliable.
Relative expectations.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then he had to Philip Rivers thrown to him. I think Riley Leonard threw some balls. Like, it was not good. It was not a good.
What did he end at? Even so, he ended as the number 7 overall.
He was the.
I'll take that for a rookie.
He was the 4th. At least that's what I have. So on sleeper, which yeah, I mean that's very good. And then Henderson, we'll talk more about Henderson later. But that was the only trade you made pre-draft. So then we'll talk about your draft. We already talked about Warren Henderson, and Jaden Blue was your only other pick. Who?
Still high on Jaden Blue.
I am as well. I expected more from him, but he's a big we'll see right now. I just didn't get enough looks. I don't really think maybe he did have some injury stuff this year.
Well, I know he wore like Louis Vuitton cleats at one point and got
God, yeah, that's right. He had the
a rash or something, a blister or something.
I just look at this running back room and I'm like, if Javonte walks, then it's wide open. They'll probably bring in somebody again, but I think Javonte will stick around. Miles Sanders is as good as done, and there's no one else here that inspires me with confidence. So I think this is his RB2 job next year, so we'll talk more about him later as well, but I still like this pick. I'm happy you left Tootin for me here, but I do like Blue. All right. Any players, like obviously hindsight's 2020, but do you wish you had gone like Woody Marks over Jaden Blue, or do you still feel comfortable with this pick over who went the rest of the way?
So let me see who went towards the beginning of the third.
You had it went Neal, Tootin, Fannin, Ferguson, Royals, Sampson.
Yeah, I mean, had I not gone tight end with Warren, Fannin would have been a good one to target. But no, I mean, I'm comfortable with my methodology there. I mean, Tootin's going to be solid. Liam Cohen knows how to run the ball. That dude is a wizard with that. As the Bucks found out this season when they could not do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm good with it because Woody Marks is what, like 26 years old.
He's old. He's 25.
I mean, 25. Like Jaden Blue's 22.
Yeah. I like the upside for sure.
He's got plenty of of tread left on the tires.
Yep, I like the upside of blue.
It's just a matter of him taking the job from someone.
Agreed, man. Just looking back, it's a pretty good draft. This first round is like it's a lot of hits. It's just kind of
Yeah.
rare. I mean, Hampton is good. He had injuries. Genti, terrible team. Henderson, I mean, he had a good year, all things considered. Warren, good year. McMillan, good year. Oh, Travis Hunter, we'll see. He might not play receiver anymore. Judkins, good. Loveland, good. Burden came on strong. Matthew Golden, I don't know. I can say a good thing about a Packer.
Loveland turned it around big time
Yeah,
back half of the season.
yeah, he was clutch. And in the playoffs, they threw the ball to him a ton. So I'm high hopes for him for
You had
sure.
the tale of two halves with yours. Ibuka in the first 5 weeks, and then Loveland everything
That
after.
sucks, dude. Look at this, man. He still had targets, which is the promising thing for Ibuka, but
He'll be
127
fine.
targets is a lot of targets. That's for a rookie. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that.
I don't think people realize how bad the Bucks were after they beat the Seahawks,
Yeah.
and then they won like 2 games the rest of the season.
So that was another. It's another team that's like tail of two teams. It really was.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries for sure. Did not help you. All right, moving on. Early season trade. This is kind of a nothing burger. We had Daniel Jones in 2/3. We'll see what those thirds become. I think it's your next 2 years thirds. So the 305 upcoming.
Well,
Which
and the rationale there for me is my thirds have never uh, worked out for me.
well, thirds are just
And
they're
so
mega
it's
dart
like,
throws. So
yeah, so it for me having the security of that was early in the season, right after Burrow went down, to have a decent backup QB, and as a league that only starts one QB, to have May, Jones, and Burrow, there's trade assets there.
yeah. So I I mean, this is Rahul gets draft capital. You get a safety blanket at quarterback, which now you really don't have to address quarterback for like 8 years, which is nice. I mean,
Cool.
Daniel Jones might not be in the league in 8 years, but for the next 2 or 3, he's probably gonna have a starting job at least. So yeah,
Assuming he comes back next year.
I think
It
they'll.
was an Achilles, wasn't it?
Yeah, he'll come back. I think he'll be
Yeah,
fine.
it was an Achilles.
And he can scramble. He's not. He's not like relying on it. So I'm not worried about that as much. And then we had the big one.
Then the big
You give CD Lamb to me for 3 firsts and a second. The first ended up being the 104, the 26 first is the 104, and the 26 second is the 201, and then my 27 first and my 28 first. We had many
Yeah,
iterations,
so
many iterations of this trade.
that trade was about four. When did that process officially?
Like,
October 21st.
yeah, we were talking about this in like July, maybe even
In
June.
June or July. Yeah, it was when the off-season praise for Ibuka really picked up.
Oh man,
Is when we started talking about it.
I think we
Yeah,
almost had
so
a
for me,
Buka and a first for Lamb done. I was like, oh please, please. Then he came to your senses.
yeah, yeah, I decided to not go full
It's too bad.
homer there. But no, for me it was get as much value out of Lamb while I still can. Pickens coming on as I hesitate to say the RB or the wide receiver one, but certainly the preferred target in the passing game. I think is a fair way to say
Mm-hmm.
that. Obviously Lamb was hurt for a portion of the year. Um, but Pickens coming on strong, and the Cowboys explicitly stating they intend to keep him.
Yep.
Uh, kind of dropped Lamb in my eyes a little bit. On top of him being like 26, about to be 27. That off ramp is coming sometime in the next like 3 to 4 years,
Yep.
and so for me to be able to extract, in essence, 4 first rounders, because the second is the 13th pick, like the very next pick after the
Yep.
first round.
Yep.
But be able to extract 3 first rounders and then the second for him, I think that was a fair return.
Yeah.
Now we'll just see if I can actually draft worth a damn to make it worthwhile.
That's the key. And he
But in terms of flipping Lamb for what I flipped him for, uh, it was Travis Etienne, for
Oh yeah.
CeeDee Lamb and a first 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
How is that what it was? And did I send something back?
It was Lamb. You received Lamb and a first for ETN at 2 seconds. And I don't know what those seconds were, but it's not worth Lamb.
Yeah, I would still do that again. I'd do that again
Yeah,
today.
no shit. I would cut your hand off. You said you wouldn't do that again.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Rahul knows the
I
error
still
of his ways.
still don't understand that trade. Whenever you get to talk to Rahul, I would love to know the rationale for that one.
I let him off the hook. I didn't bring that up because
Oh, okay.
a couple months
The next
ago,
time I see it.
the first iteration of this podcast, like in August, I was trying to get him to come on, and he was like, "I'm not coming on because I don't want to talk about my bad trades." So I let him off the hook. But for Lamb, I think he still had
I've had some bad ones too.
Oh yeah. Oh, this yeah. We've all been there. And Lamb
Lamb
still was good.
He is good. I mean, he's a consistent 13 to 18 point scorer on average a week. Like, you're gonna get that from him.
And Pickens was just as good. I think 26 is still pretty young in receiver years. I think, like you said, three or 4 years, and he's still wide receiver 1 territory in my opinion. Which is why I did it, because I'm thinking I had a team and then had some injuries and bad luck and whatnot. But I don't have as much. I don't regret this one, honestly. I don't think he's good. I just noticed Dylan said more reasonable Henderson take than I expected in the chat. So congrats, you had a reasonable take. That's big for you.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you. No, for you though, it's if you hit, those firsts aren't as valuable. Like, if this trade works for you, those first or late first round picks are not as valuable to me.
Right.
So I just gave up maybe the second or first most valuable piece for a handful of late first round picks, and then chose first for this year.
Yeah, that I think that's the one. Because go ahead.
No, I was done.
I think that's this upcoming 104. Like that's the pick that you have to hit on. Because like I'm not too my own horror. I think my team's it's pretty good. It's okay. Like Final Four last year, I think. So those picks might not be so high. So I think that one in the second. Now we'll talk later about, like, in a couple months, about the strength of the draft class. Like how many good players are going to come out of this. I think it's going to be a good class either way. So I think you'll still find good players even at the 201. So I think we'll see. I think it's a good trade for both of us. You got younger. You have picks which you need, which we'll talk about right now. So yeah, I think the more I think about this one, I was very reactionary in my notes. So I'm like, I'm an idiot. This is a terrible trade for me, but I kept thinking on it. So I don't feel that way anymore. But yeah, I think it's quiet year trades wise for you. Usually you're a big trader.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I was confident in my team going into the year.
You were
and I think had my team stayed healthy, it would have been a different year for me. But Lamb getting hurt, Bucky getting hurt, Burrow getting hurt, Kendrick Miller got hurt. Obviously, Daniel Jones ended up getting hurt. I think Marvin Harrison missed multiple games for different ailments. Yeah, I mean, he had like appendicitis, and then he had a heel injury, and yeah, it's just. And the Cardinals also suck.
Yes, they do.
That doesn't help.
You finished 6-8 this year.
I had a lot of injuries, and I still went 6-8 with a couple of those losses being pretty competitive. And I beat the eventual champion. So.
The one of his 2 losses. What else did he lose to? I don't know if I can. The website is. All right, so you finished 6-8. You were third in the Bads division. Not one game out of the playoffs. And then you had to have some points. Your points for wouldn't have got you in anyways. But so we'll call it 2 games. Your points for you were 15-21, which I have you good for 7th in the league. Which right out it's basically on par with your points or your record, and then you're 6th in points allowed. So you weren't too unlucky in that in terms of team scoring a ton of points against you, but that's also just the nature of the Pats division. I mean, when you're playing Tim twice a year, Rule Tyson twice a year, Joe twice a year, you're gonna have some low point scores.
Like there was a way to fix that.
What's that?
It's almost like there was a way we could have fixed that.
Hey, shots fired. Maybe you need your own podcast. Just kidding. All right, nice. So let's go ahead and go through your team. So I don't know if you've seen this.
No, let me zoom in on this. I'll get a good view of this.
I've got some notes on every player, or most players. There's 5 tiers, and I'm thinking I'm going to tweak this a little bit because there's some guys that just don't fit in some of these tiers, but I don't want to have like a 9-tier thing. So we got starters, backups, development, which can mean a few things, like they're just young, or they just they're not still super young. They just don't fit in who knows, because like I think they're going to be good, something like that. We have who knows, which is anything between like you're a veteran free agent, you're a guy on his rookie deal who is behind someone if he gets a trade, something like that. So that's who knows. And why is your roster? These are cut candidates that you're gonna probably, these are your first guys that I think you should let go for these picks here. So we'll start with quarterbacks. Joe Burrow and Drake May. I don't really think we need to talk too much about those two. Joe Burrow, the only thing is got to stay healthy. And Drake May is, hopefully this Super Bowl doesn't destroy him as a human being, because that was awful. And
he'll be back.
We'll see what he's made of. We'll see what he's made of. He had a good year. Very good year. Don't think he was.
He shouldn't have won MVP.
Yeah,
he should not have been MVP, but he did have a great year for a second-year player with a rookie head coach.
With a very, very easy schedule, though. Look at these teams. Not much of nobody. So I think Drake May is going to be fine. Like I said, he's starter for the next 10 years, probably. And then you have Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe Burrow, you don't have to worry about quarterback. I have Daniel Jones down here in backup, which I think is fair. Had a good year, but the thing with Daniel Jones that I'm not putting him in starter is the injury, for one, and the uncertainty, like where is he going to be next year?
And we're also only a 1 QB league.
So yes, that's true. That too.
There's only so many starter positions to go around.
Right, and
he's not a top 12 QB in my mind.
No, he's not. He's had one top 10 season, and that was when he had a bunch of rushing touchdowns, which he's never replicated. So, and he won't.
Which is kind of crazy. He was 17th and only played in what, 2/3 of the games?
He ended up having 13 games, so 13. It's just the rushing touchdowns. I think that pushed him up over into QB2 territory. So, I mean, a fine third stringer for you. And Will Howard I have in development just because.
Yeah, he's probably a drop candidate.
Probably. He's one that I don't know if he's on your taxi, but he's gonna have to come off of it. Well, I don't know, because Sleeper has that weird thing though. You might be able to keep him there, but I don't know. It might just be one to let go. The only reason I'd keep him is because who knows? Aaron Rodgers is probably coming back, but he might not. Maybe he beats out Mason Rudolph for the number 2 role, but I don't see that happening. So he's the one I think you can probably get rid of. But I haven't developed because he's still young for a quarterback, so I'm okay keeping him there. But he is. If you're on the cusp, well, do I cut him or like a Kendrick Miller? It's gotta be Will Howard. So.
Nope. Agreed. No qualms there.
All right. Moving on to another 2 guys. I don't think we're gonna have any issues debating here. Bucky.
Step it up.
He's got to stay healthy, which hasn't been like, it was just a last year thing, and we'll see. This offense, I don't know that he can be what he was as a rookie in this current iteration of the offense, but I also don't think the Bucs are gonna do the same thing they did last year. That's crazy. So
no. I think they would be, if they have even half the amount of injuries to the offense that they had last year, they would have been a playoff team.
Agreed.
Without a shadow of doubt. The amount of injuries they had on just the offensive lineup, and in particular, the interior of the offensive line, which is a lot of how they use Bucky. He runs up the middle. Don't use him on runs to the outside.
And this is before the injury, the first 4 weeks before the injury to him, and before a lot of the O-line injuries. He was producing well. I mean, he was 12, 15, 11. That's
They
solid
were also
numbers for a running
using
back.
him they were using him a ton. I mean, 14, 17, 25
It's a lot of
attempts. Like that's
carries.
why he got hurt.
And then,
Because you
yeah,
can't do that
and 20
for a guy.
targets. Yeah, 5 targets a game. That's a lot of touches.
Yeah.
And so he came back and wasn't great, but again, by this point you were on your backup right tackle, backup left tackle, backup guard, backup center. It was crazy. So
Yeah. Backups basically everywhere.
yeah, I'm still comfortable having him as a starter
Baker
tier.
had fallen off a cliff. He had gone back into the cycle of Baker.
Seriously, it's crazy, crazy year honestly for him, for the Bucks.
He cost himself a lot of money. He cost himself a lot of money, I think.
This past year,
Yeah, Baker did
did he?
with his next extension.
Is his is his contract
This
almost
is
up
his
already?
last year. I think this is his last year in the
Oh my
contract.
god, why did I think he's still? God damn, it's already been 3 years since he signed here. Jesus, yeah, you're right. That's crazy. 50.
So I think
He's
this is
making
his last year guaranteed.
his cap hit is $52 million this year. Jesus, that's a restructure incoming for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so 2026 status is the final year of his deal. 30 million guaranteed and $52 million salary cap hit.
I would bet they restructure this. They give him an extra year, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Get 30 back or 20 million back on the salary cap for this year, and then kick the can down the road.
Yep, probably so. Because they're not in a position to go draft a QB.
No,
And there's no good
they have
QBs to
other
draft this
needs.
year outside of one.
Yeah, seriously. So there's no need to go quarterback. All right, Trey Van Ness, we already talked about him. I was kind of teetering here between backup and starter. I put him in starter just because I don't think that they're going to keep running Ramondre Stevenson into the ground. I think they'd be stupid to do that. I mean, the only thing I had with his rookie year is that he kind of lived off of those long touchdown runs. I think he had like 4 or 5 of those super long touchdowns, which are great, but it's not always sustainable to live off 50-yard touchdown runs.
No.
But he still produced outside of that pretty well if you take away some of those, or even put him on 25-yard touchdown runs, which are more likely. I still think he's going to be an RB2 level running back. So anywhere from 12 to 24, I think is a floor for him. So I know we've talked about him already, but
And even his red zone touches, I think, were down relative to what you would expect out of a
right.
starter. And that might just be a Mike Vrabel rookie running back deal where it's like he's not going to give his rookies the touches
Yeah.
inside the 20. But we'll see. We'll see.
Got a few more messages from Dylan here. He says, "All right, buddy. Don't know when you sent this. I assume it's when we're talking about Drake May, because then his next sentence is Drake May, a sorry ass bitch, and then he says Drake the schedule May. So Dylan in the chat, very anti Drake May. I'm not that far on him. I know he had a rough playoffs, but he's still a good quarterback. Come on,
Dylan, you should be grateful for Drake May. You should be grateful for him.
Honestly,
you got your second team a Super Bowl.
Shots fired. All right, I have nobody here in the backup. It falls off a cliff here for you, and I think you would agree.
There are no backups.
This is dire. Some of these guys, Blue. I have his development. I think he's your most likely.
Yeah, he's not. Nah, dude, he's not a backup. He's purely development. Like
of these dudes, I think he's probably your best chance.
Well, in all seriousness, how you explain the who knows category fits well. Rashad White, if he goes to like a Commanders, he
Yeah.
could become their starter.
Agreed.
You know, like he is the potential for a like flex 2 type of player.
That's what I have here.
Or a team like that.
As of right now, not startable, but if he gets to a solid spot, then I'm fine moving him up because he has shown he can produce.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he was the better running back of the two of them this year, anyway.
Right.
Him and Bucket. And he actually watching the games, he was the better of the two. They just refused to let him touch it.
Yeah. So I think you're probably right there. I think he's got a chance. I don't know Brooks. I don't see it happening. I know he's still young.
That's the $20 bill you forget you have in your jacket 2 years from now. You know, it's maybe we'll see. He's only like 21, so
he's young, but like 2 career-ending injuries in a row, or sorry, season-ending injuries in a row. is rough. I don't see it. Um,
And that is just one example of my terrible
yeah, picking him at the
drafting
106
history
was a
with
choice.
running back. I mean, he was
Especially
the first running back taken. Like, no one could have foreseen, like, even with the ACL injury, he was the first running back taken.
you
In the
went.
real draft, like in the NFL draft. Um,
This is
he was
rough,
drafted before Benson in the NFL draft.
right?
So the
Um,
Panthers obviously believed that he was going to be good enough to make it happen, even with the first ACL tear. But we'll see.
I'm
No,
hoping
3-2
for
years.
his sake, but I don't. I'm not sure I see it with him. But he still isn't. Who knows? I have him below development because at this point he has to prove he can make it through a training camp and a preseason healthy. So we'll see.
Totally agree.
We'll see. He's not a cut candidate yet. You can't cut him. But same thing with Miller. He's another one who I don't know,
Another one
man.
of the first round gems.
He's just he was hurt.
He's just not that good.
He isn't. He's not that
Can't blame
guy.
Dennis Allen forever, but I am gonna try.
What's that?
I can't blame Dennis Allen forever, but I am gonna try.
No, like he was gone, and he still wasn't that good, and he
He
still got injured.
still
He's never eclipsed 200 yards, never eclipsed 2 touchdowns, never eclipsed 50 carries in a year. Is not good. Not doesn't bode well
no.
for our TCU grad here. Well, I don't think he graduated, but TCU product. So another one, like I would be comfortable cutting him if you had to, but for now we'll leave him up here.
I mean, he's a long term stash because I mean, like we say all that, and then middle of the offseason, Alvin Kamara could decide to retire, and then now suddenly it's him and Devin Neal
Yeah, there's not much
duking
there.
it out for the starter. I mean, the Saints are terrible, but it's like it's him and Devin Neal duking it out. Anything could happen.
Devin Neal
He could be
had a
the
better
starter
year than him.
just by virtue of being the last man standing.
Well, if he can be the last, he's been hurt the last 3 years, so we'll see. I'm not huge on Kendrick. I know someone. I know someone. Joe, big TCU guy, might trade him for a first. He loves his TCU. He got all the TCUs. I think this is the only TCU guy he doesn't have actually.
Then I'm gonna complete his collection.
Yeah, for a first. Devin Singletary, I don't know.
Yeah, he's in drop territory. I
He's
mean,
probably gonna get cut, and he's almost 30. He was good. He's like an okay guy. Okay, wow, he had very similar numbers the last 2 years.
where was he drafted? Where did I draft him?
Oh, eighth round. That's crazy. I mean, it wasn't
When
too
was
bad.
that? Was in 2022. So what did he do that season?
It was 800 yards, 5 touchdowns, RB 25. The next year is RB 29, and then he's been a backup for the last 2 years. So
Gross. I don't
that's
know
not
what
great.
I was thinking.
Dylan
Maybe I was just
says,
thinking draft a running back on a good offense, but then
um,
he was only in Buffalo for one season.
yeah, his
After
light,
I got
or he's seen light at the end of the tunnel. I think he's probably he's definitely. I don't think they re-sign him. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent. I don't think he goes back. He might be able to carve like a RB2 role somewhere, but that's not startable. So
no.
yeah. Dylan says Jonathan Brooks has more potential for relevance than Kendrick Miller. I agree with that as well. Which I know I'm low on Jonathan Brooks, but I'm even lower on Kendrick Miller. So
Well,
uh,
the Panthers running back situation is notably better than the Saints.
they have Dowdle and
Outside of Kamara, they have no one. The Panthers have Hubbard, Dowdle, and ETN. Baby
well,
ETN.
I wouldn't even throw him in there. It's more just Hubbard and Dowdle, and Hubbard has an extension, and Dowdle I think will leave.
Yeah, I think Dowdle's, but Hubbard is he's fine. You know, I
Yeah,
mean he's fine. But I think that having him there does lower the ceiling.
yeah,
Because I
I
mean,
agree.
Kamara could retire at any time. There's been rumblings of that for a while.
Yeah, I just think Dowdle's gone or Dowdell, however you say it. I think he's I think they don't know, they might want him back, but he's gonna want money
He's
and
gonna want a lot of money.
they have money locked up in Hubbard already. They need to go get a receiver. I don't think they signed
And they've got a 22-year-old that's been out for, call it 24 months, that should be ready by the
right.
start of next season. So we'll see.
Then we got Nate Carter. I mean, he's
Yeah, he's
droppable.
whatever.
I think he should be down here. Same thing with the rest of these guys. Packer, you have a couple of Packer here. Not gonna say a good thing about a Packer, but also he sucks. Malik Davis, he's old now. Like I think the Malik Davis experiment is done. He's never gonna be a quality start. So I think he's one to just get rid of.
I honestly, this is one I don't even remember adding. I added him for $1 on December 2nd. I don't remember.
Why? Why would you do that?
I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea why I. So that tells you where he stands. He will probably be one of the first people I drop.
That's fair. And then you also have Khalil Mullings, which, again, Michigan guy. I'm not going to say a good thing about Michigan guy. Maybe he's a stash. I just think he's obviously below Pollard, but Pollard's time is coming to an end. He did not have a very good year. Actually, did way better than I thought. Guess he came on strong towards the end for sure.
And Spears is not anything special, so it's like he could carve out a legitimate number 2 role.
Yeah, I think
just can he stay healthy?
Yeah, and I think the biggest knock for Mullins, I think he was a later round pick, and those guys, I mean, they get one shot and they don't take it. They're on the street or they're on a practice squad somewhere else. So.
But I got him from waivers, so it's
so it's whatever. All these guys are whatever. These dudes are roster fillers, so.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to wide receivers, which I don't know if I have hot takes here, but I have some takes. I was very close to having Marvin Harrison Jr. as a backup, but I went with starter. I just think he's going to...
Saying that there are 3 starters on each team, I think he's in the top 27 wide receiver, or top 36 wide receivers.
Yeah.
I don't think that's unreasonable to say.
Yeah, I definitely have him as a lower end, like wide receiver 3. Like, you feel comfortable with that. He didn't have a great year. Did have the injury stuff.
Low end 2, high end 3 is how I view him at this point, which is really crappy.
For where he was drafted, it's tough. It is tough.
In fact, I spent the first overall pick on him.
He's not
never even questioned it when there's been other guys that have had better careers thus far.
He's not one to give up on. I know you had put him on the block a couple of times. Probably hurt his confidence, but not one to give up on yet, I don't think.
Yeah, and then I agree with your next 3. All those guys being backups. I mean, even so much so that they're all kind of dart throw flex plays. I mean, Watson looked really good when he came back. I know he's a dirty Packer, but he did look really good when he came back. Like he had a good back third of the season.
I'm so tired of hearing that this guy is good. I'm so tired of it. He always performs against the Lions. He's never had over 620 yards in his career. I know he's a touchdown red zone threat. He doesn't stay healthy, and he's a douchebag. I'm not a fan. But I do have him here for your sake, because objectively, he probably is like a flex 2 if he can stay healthy, but he can't. He can't stay healthy.
Wide receiver too.
Oh yeah, he's going to be starting for you. He will be starting for you this year. And Wan'Dale, I know he had a good year. I just don't see it happening. I don't see him.
Oh, he's purely a PPR merchant for when there's other guys hurt. He's going to get a lot of targets because they're intermediate throws, and especially with a rookie quarterback, that is what they need. They need guys right there. But with Neighbors coming back, and then the Giants potentially drafting a wide receiver early, it's going to be tough for there to be that level of volume to come by, barring other injuries.
I think the biggest thing for him is if he leaves in free agency. If he goes somewhere else, I think he could go up to starter, like wide receiver 3 tier. I just don't know that he does that. I think he probably likes what he has in New York, but if they go ahead and sign a receiver or draft a receiver, then I bet he's out of there.
Yeah. Nope. I don't disagree with that. And then Troy Franklin, I'm high on Troy Franklin. I like him a lot. If Bo Nix can stop throwing half the passes at his feet and then the other half 5 yards over his head, he'll be fine.
Just waiting on the
Outside of
breakout.
Sutton, I think he's the best. I think he's the best receiver on that team outside of Sutton. And Sutton's getting old.
Yeah, he had a good year. I think it's just I don't know that there's enough. What's that?
It's a crowded passing offense.
It's like, but crowded in like a bad way because there's no one really. There's no alpha. I know Cortland Sutton's been good for a while, but he's not an alpha receiver. He's not a top 10 receiver.
The Packers are. They're a bunch of wide receiver twos.
Exactly.
On
Exactly. So he sorry.
He's playing ball. No, you're good.
Yeah, he'll go off for 9 yards and touchdown, 9 yards total touchdowns, 85. He'll go off for but that's not consistent for him. That's why he ends up as technically a wide receiver 3. So you're comfortable starting him. I would if you're trying to like win a championship, he'd be fine as a flex. So obviously there's room to improve here as we can see.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Yeah. A.D. Mitchell. It's interesting because he went to a terrible team and like was better, which doesn't happen. It doesn't happen very often. But he was just not used at all in Indy. So I'm looking forward to see what he has next year. I don't know what
I think a full
Jets do
could be really beneficial for a guy like him. I mean, you have Garrett Wilson there, who he's always going to be the number one. He's 25. I mean, he's still young. But now A.D. Mitchell, man, he could still be. I'm not down on him quite yet.
No, I think that trade was the best thing that could happen for him because he wasn't doing anything in Indianapolis, and seems like he carved out a role for him, whether it be wide receiver 2 or 3. Because I think they drafted receiver 2, and honestly, they need help everywhere. So they might go line. I don't know. I don't remember what I had them locked.
Yeah.
I had them taking an edge and a receiver. I had them taking a lineman at 16. So we'll see. Oh, you didn't listen. You didn't watch. I had him taking Sonny Styles.
That is exactly who the Bucs need to take.
They need someone on defense, or they need offensive line depth. You don't take offensive line depth in the first round.
They don't even need offensive line depth. Like that's they've got the depth. They just need their starters to freaking stay healthy.
That's true too.
They need to spend every single pick of this entire draft on the defense. Every single pick.
Yeah, I had
maybe one offensive lineman like the 6th round.
Yeah.
Everything else needs to be on defense. And
I think Styles could play even go to safety if you wanted him to. But I think they need a linebacker. I think they've been looking for. They've been looking for that Levante. Yeah, they've been looking for him. They need him, and I think he could be that. Okay, back to this. Tez Johnson and Jimmy Horn. I think
I'd move Jimmy Horn down to the who knows personally. Tez Johnson I do like a lot. I think he could carve out a role if Evans does leave free agency. He's just good, man. He just gets open, you know.
Yeah, that's what I just Crowder room. He needs some. He needs Evans to leave, and I think Agbuka needs Evans to leave. McMillan needs Evans to leave. If any of these guys want to be more viable in fantasy terms, so which makes sense. The only reason I have Horn in development is because I don't know. I think they're going to draft a receiver or a dress receiver, but if they don't, then he's got a pretty easy route to a wide receiver 3 role.
Much player outside of Ted McMillan.
Yeah, Liget is awful. Coker is pretty good. I like Jalen Coker, but he's not all pro. Like you could beat out Jalen Coker. That's not that. He's not anything special. Now, like I said, if he doesn't even sniff that wide receiver 3 spot, that slot role, then he's gone. He's nothing. All right, I'll let you take the reins on these next two because I know you're I know you've been high on these guys in the past, but I want to hear your thoughts because I don't know. I have them low.
Um, so Rashad Bateman is probably, of all of my picks of the startup draft, the one I regret the most. I drafted that dude in the sixth round,
Yeah.
thinking he was going to be like the wide receiver that would just stick it out with Lamar. Even on a run heavy offense, you got to be, you know. Um, but yeah, he is the one I regret the most, especially because I traded
Yeah.
that pick and Amon Ra was drafted right there.
Yeah, I'm looking at it
Um,
right now. That's
Fournette
rough.
was, I mean, Cup and Eckler, like at the time,
Those
I
are fun
probably should have
picks.
gone younger. But Burrow in the third, cool. Fournette, that objectively a bad pick. Bateman is the one that just annoys me that I did that.
Well, you could have taken Gabe Davis in the sixth, like Tim. God, what a fucking homer. Gabe Davis in the sixth round.
No, Bateman, he is in dangerously close to just like drop territory for me. I mean, he's
Yeah.
dead. You know, it's like he's good for 1 or 2 games a year. This year he had one against Detroit. Funny enough,
Kick their
five
ass
for
too.
seven, 63 yards and a touchdown.
In a
But it's like he scored
loss.
2 touchdowns all season.
Yeah.
Detroit.
I
And last year he had 9 touchdowns, and he only finishes the 30th ranked receiver because he only had 45 catches.
yeah. This is another one where um, I believe. Let's see. So yeah, they've re-signed him. He's not a free agent until 2030. Oh my god.
Did they really?
There's a potential out after 27, which I would guarantee they do that. It's only 5 million dead cap. Uh,
Yeah,
if they cut
probably.
him there, unless
They
he
may
goes
even just
off,
update after this season. Yeah.
they need to.
I mean, how old is he now? 26. Like
He'll be
he, this
27
is
at the
this
start
was
of the
his,
year.
this was his fifth year. Like if he hasn't gone off yet.
Yeah, I think he's quote unquote depth. Like theoretically, he could do a job. I think in a flex role, but
Hmm.
that's tough. That's tough.
Now who knows? Maybe the new
Yeah,
coaching staff has a different mentality for how they want to do things in Baltimore. But
I think that's
I don't
his
know.
last hope. Is Minter.
Yeah.
I don't. Zero.
Yeah, who's who?
I just talked about that. I can't remember.
Patrick Tillman.
Declan Doyle. That's right. The Bears offensive coordinator moved over to Baltimore, and he's never called plays. So we'll see. Honestly, maybe he's too
Yeah.
old. He's too old to be
Yeah.
development. He's too good to be cut candidate. So this is kind of like the dead zone. Like I don't know where to put him.
Sure. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. No, I agree with both those. Tillman is interesting, man. Like, because I watched Tillman a lot in college.
Big
When he
Bob
was in
guy.
college, big ball guy, yeah. And dude, he was awesome at Tennessee. But so was Jalen Hyatt, and UT
So
hasn't
was
been
so was
exceptional.
Hendon Hooker. And Hendon Hooker's
So was Hendon Hooker.
awful in the NFL. He's been terrible.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think Cleveland's QB situation is damning for basically any receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I
Even
mean,
though
even
he's a Pro Bowler though.
Jerry Judy was the 56th ranked wide receiver this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like that's your wide receiver one, and he's the 56th best because the talent throwing the ball just is not good enough.
Yeah,
Don't come for me
terrible.
beyond.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's listening right now.
yeah, but I don't know, man. I think Cedric Tillman is good enough to keep on a roster and this with this big of benches. So it's like I'm not going to cut him,
Right.
but he can't be a starter for me
No.
or a flex.
Jesus. As a team, the Browns only threw for 2,800 yards and 16 touchdowns this year. That's rough. And
It's so bad.
half of that went to Famine and Judy. Jesus, Isaiah Bond outproduced Cedric Tillman this year?
Well, Tillman got hurt like 3 times. He had
That's
3 separate. hamstring injuries. I'm pretty sure.
That's a pattern, man. That's one. Oh shit, I forgot I traded him to you. God, oh,
Yeah,
that's
you
right, Mike
drafted him.
Williams. Mike Williams, my
Yeah,
goat.
so let's see what he played the first 3 games, had a great week 1.
He was awesome
Then
towards ACL.
he got hurt against Detroit, missed 4 games, then the
Oh, he's on
bye.
Tillman.
Yeah, I'm talking about Tillman again. It actually only shows that he had 1 injury. Basically, was just ineffective the whole back half of the season.
It's probably one of those nagging injuries.
Yeah, 3.1, 8.2, 1.5, 0, 3.30, 1.8, 5.2. Like
It's bad.
frequency. Yeah,
This is bad.
it's
But
bad.
no one's going to produce on offense where Shador Sanders is throwing the ball. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so I have him in who
All right.
knows. I don't.
Who's next?
He's under contract for another year, so he's got time. I think it was Zacchaeus and Nash. I mean, these
Yeah,
guys are.
whatever. Yeah, those
These
guys
guys
are.
are. All right, tight
Nick Nash.
ends.
I purely added Nash because he is like one of those guys that just produced in
He
college.
was
I mean, that
very
dude
good
just
in college.
produced in college. And so it's one of those that stash him, see what happens. And he got picked up out of so I don't know. We'll see. We'll
It's
see. I'm not expecting anything. But
there's room to grow in this receiver room. There's no one really. I mean, McLaurin's good, but Debo's on his way out, and then there's no one else really. So yeah, I see.
McLaurin's
I
30.
see. Yeah, I see it. I see an avenue, but also I don't think they're going to go with Nick Nash. They're probably going to take another receiver this draft.
Mhm.
He's 25. He's on a futures contract, which is not what you want to be at 25. So we'll see. I mean, he's got a good build, but I don't see it happening. And
Yeah.
Zacchaeus is nobody. Roster clogger.
Whatever.
All right, Tyler Warren. We already talked about Tyler Warren. Very good. I have tight end 2 in his class behind Colson Loveland, but other than that, it's pretty good. Um, just kidding. We'll see. I honestly think it's going to be fun to see Warren and Loveland compete because they're both very good, and we'll see
Oh yeah. Yeah.
over
Well,
the
and I
course of their
think that
careers.
over the next like 3 to 4 years will be interesting to see how that shakes out. Yeah, Theo Johnson, I would keep as backup. Fryermuth, I would move down to who knows, personally. He's too old to be development. Uh, but it's just that Steelers off just gross. I mean,
Yeah,
that's one of those that he could go off. Like there was that game all the time. Or not, they didn't all have 100, but they all had like 60 yards or
yeah,
something crazy. There's one game. Um, but then other than that, they're just all average. They all just eat at each other's
yeah.
like stats. So
He's signed for another couple years, so he's not going anywhere, which I think is not good for him. But well, I don't know. I'm okay with
he
him
could use
as your
that.
tight end 3 for sure. I think that's fine.
Yeah, in this setup of a league, I think having him as a 3 means if you have 2 guys better than him, that means your tight end room at least average in
Yeah,
my mind.
yeah,
And Theo Johnson, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. He was uh he was really good, but just game to game there was so much up and down. Like he had a couple games where it was 24 points, 17 points, 18 points, and then games where it was like 5.7, 6.5. And it was like so week 5 at New Orleans 24.3 down to 5.7, up to 17.1, down to 6.5, up to 13.2, up to 18. It's like you would love to see that level out a little bit.
agreed. I think the
So
best
you
thing
have
for
the
him
spikes on the
is
touchdowns.
yeah. I think the best thing for him is he had a ton of targets. Now that could go down with neighbors coming back. Who knows? But I like Theo John. I think he has the ability to go up to this tight end tight end 1, tight end 2 group. But right now, I think
Mm-hmm.
he's a fine backup. He'll probably be in your flex a lot this year. Because if we're looking,
Yeah, he will be. Yeah.
I do this on the fly, but we go probably Joe Burrow's your starter. This is all dependent on matchup. These two are interchangeable in my opinion, Burrow and May. I
Yeah.
think Burrow's better, but I think May, obviously, but May, if there's a good matchup, I think that's one for one swap, just about. Hey, you got these two locked in that starter. I'll put him at wide receiver two, tight end, and that leaves two flexes and two receivers. So he
Yeah,
easily
well,
slots in
and
over
how
these
I look at
guys.
it is Theo Johnson is one of those flexes.
Yep.
And then as things currently stand right now, Wandale would be your wide receiver three, or Christian Watson, whichever flavor you want there. And then one of those other guys at the flex spot is how I see it.
Something like that. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
just
Now,
with
obviously, the room for improvement is the wide receiver room in the draft.
yep. And
Unfortunately, there's a few good ones this year.
and so I didn't realize you had three firsts this year, which is huge. It's huge.
I have two,
I had three.
and then I have the first and second. I have. Oh no, you're right. I do
Unless you
have
traded
three.
one, yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
I
say.
forgot about that.
Yeah, you got
I do have
Joe's,
three.
Dylan's,
Cool.
and yours. So you have 104,
So I have the
105.
top 13 picks. Nice. I forgot I had three of them. I thought
Yeah.
I only had myself and Joe.
So I think.
Dylan, that's the Lamar Jackson trade that just keeps on giving.
Oh God. Oh, don't remind me.
Another QB I had that I probably should have kept, but I was never going to use.
That's
Instead of
right. You
being
had Lamar, didn't you?
wrongfully accused of tanking by you know who,
I don't. Throw shade.
he's
Let's
done
hear
with it. The guy that won the league this year.
it. Didn't think you'd actually do it.
Yurden the schedule.
I think Jared listens, so I think he listens. I forgot about this trade. The Mike Williams, Lamar Jackson, and a first for DJ Moore, Justin Fields, and he's like, What are you doing, Rahul? Oh God,
Yeah,
man.
that was well, that was right after, if I remember correctly, right after DJ Moore got traded to them.
Yes, it
Like the
was.
day after or 2 days after. And he hit me up. And I think I countered right back at him with Mike Williams and Lamar Jackson and the first, and he took it right away. Like I was dumbfounded. But hey,
Insanity.
I respect being the homer that Rahul is. I
Which,
respect it.
ironically, in that DJ Moore trade, was also the Panthers' first round pick, which became Caleb Williams. So in that trade, he also gets he doesn't get his he gets Williams from me, or I traded and picked him, something like that. But just kind of funny how that all worked out. All right, so picks. We're not going to get too far into picks because I don't want anyone talking to draft strategy. But I think if we go back to my mock draft here, I think there's a couple receivers that go early. I think Tate, I think Tyson, I think Lemon all go pretty early, and then obviously you have Jeremiah Love. So that leaves you with one of Tate, Tyson, and Lemon, and then after that, who knows what happens at five. So could be go for Kenyon Sadiq and really solidify that tight end room. I don't know.
Yeah, corner of the market, as I like to say.
Yeah,
And it
God,
never works out.
yeah. Um, I think there are other. I think Boston goes. I'm not too big on Boston. I do like Concepcion or Conception. I
Yeah.
still don't know how to
Yeah.
say his name,
Yeah.
especially if he goes to the Bills. Man, I would not mind that. So we'll see. There's a lot of time to talk about drafts, and I will be doing dynasty mock drafts in the future. So stay tuned for that. Um, so yeah. All right. So last thing we have to do is talk tier list. So of the teams so far, it's a little bit of controversy here. We got Taylor in the rebuilding tier, which is obviously teams that need to rebuild or are currently rebuilding. I think Taylor's kind of both. He definitely needs to go further, but he's already started that process. I let everyone choose. So you get to choose your spot. Taylor didn't come on the podcast, so I put him there. Joe chose himself as Tweenersville, which is teams that they're on the cusp of getting to the playoffs. Wouldn't be shocked if you made the playoffs, but I expect you to be in that 7, 8, 9, 7th, 8th, 9th place range. Um,
Yeah,
I would put
I
Joe
think
down here to be honest, but I think Joe might need to rebuild. Tim also might need to rebuild. Might not want to say it, but
yeah, I think that is how I would have it labeled. Sorry, Joe and Tim. And then I would put me and Rahul in that group together. I
yeah,
think that's reasonable. Now, I don't know who's ahead of who, but I think that we both have our individual strengths on our team that the other lacks.
Yeah, I think you guys. I think it's pretty tight.
Let me go look at Roll's team.
I think it's pretty tight. I have my
So
whole notes here if you wanna.
yeah, let's see. So Stafford and Caleb Williams, Chase Brown, Woody Marks. I like my running back room over.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you have a better
Titans wide
quarterback, better receiver,
receiver
better running back.
for the.
I
I
think
would probably take his wide receiver over mine.
agreed.
I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
No, no,
Um,
yeah,
and then tight end, I like Tyler Warren a lot. I mean, Fannin is good. It's just whatever your flavor is there.
yeah. I think
Um,
he might have you depth wise. I know. I like Johnson. I also really like Gadsden. And honestly, these two guys I think have a chance because they're both free agents and they're both pretty good. And so I could see both of them jumping up to back up them. But honestly, it's splitting hairs between you guys. I think you can have the argument for either or. Um,
yeah,
at above each other. So I think
yeah.
you guys
But
are
one thing I will say is, so he's got 4 picks this draft. He's got one first, Joe's second, my third, and Trev's third. I think that is where my team could potentially pull ahead of his.
absolutely.
Is I've got 4 picks
It's a big offseason for
in
you.
stand that he only has one.
It's a big offseason. Yeah, it's a big offseason for you for sure. He's got a pick ahead of you.
If I hit on 3 of these 4 good picks in here, I think my team could move closer to that playoff
Absolutely.
tier. I'm not going to pretend they're a contender, but I would be. I mean, I was already
Well,
pretty close this year with the massive amount of injuries that I had. Now some of that was scheduled. Um, yeah, we'll see.
we'll say you do something like this. You address at 104. You pick a receiver who ends up being a starter, which is definitely a thing at 104 that happens. That immediately improves your wide receiver room. Like that makes it way better already.
Mhm.
And then you with this
And
other
at
pick,
105, you go another receiver there,
another receiver,
or
and
something, or maybe a flex one. Put in a
yeah,
flex one,
yeah,
given it's not a receiver.
worst case
Um,
scenario, and then one of these guys takes a jump, and then yeah, you got a pretty solid team. But
yeah,
obviously,
I mean, you move Theo Johnson down a rung on the ladder, so now he's your flex two, and Franklin's your flex.
or
Franklin's on the bench. Yeah,
yeah,
and
something like
then it's like
this.
that. That to me is the makings of a decent
Yeah,
playoff. I'm not gonna say playoff caliber, but playoff challenger
agreed,
roster.
agreed. Now
I
the problem is you got hits on those picks.
Yeah, I got hit on them, which I don't have the best history of.
Now we can go to
Last year
that
was
too.
solid.
Last year
Last year was solid.
was good. You went with Marvin Harrison, who I'm not giving up on. Drake May's a good pick. It's a pretty good draft, all things considered, honestly. I mean, you got Troy Franklin, who's waiting on a breakout. Mitchell's waiting on a breakout. Which I mean, that's saying waiting on a breakout is different than a guy who's good. But
Yeah.
you could have done worse. You could have done worse. You could have taken the. You could have taken Polk. Could have taken Roman Wilson like I did. So, all right. Well, that's all I got. Any last minute comments on your?
I think I'm good, man. I'm looking forward to drafting. When are we drafting?
Um, well, I got in trouble from Dylan last time I tried to hurry up the draft process. So, and honestly,
Oh, dude, that was
that
the day. When are we gonna discuss that?
uh, which part? What
The that trade.
trade?
I know you talked to Joe about it.
Talked a
What
little
did
bit to
Joe
Joe.
say?
Dylan. Well, we got Kersey next. Kersey might be coming on the podcast, so we might be able to hear from her later this week. And then it'll be Dylan, and then we'll definitely talk to Trev about that trade because I got to hear his perspective. I know he's eager to talk about that. But I would say drafting definitely sometime in May, unless we got some time. But
We need to wait a little while.
yeah, I got a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
I'm just gonna
planned.
see how this offseason shakes out for me. I've got some dead weight that I can cut off pretty easily to accommodate these like 5, 6 draft picks
Yep,
that I've got.
agreed.
Or I've got trade capital.
I was gonna say that's the other thing. You
Hit my
could.
DMs, people. Hit my DMs. I'm open for business. I've got
All
like one or
right.
two untouchables, and that's about it.
Yeah, I'll take Bucky, Travion, Warren for a third.
But
All
all right,
right.
bro.
Sounds good. All right. Well, this was fun.
Catch you later.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. See you.
See you. See ya.
Bye.
All right, and that is it. Thank you, Seattle, for coming on. Hope you all enjoyed. Maybe Kirsty will see you later this week. Hopefully, gotta get that planned. So all right. Talk to you all later.